Next handler in the level 1, we have Hill with Rex, figure 8. Dog goes a little wide around to the left and lagging wide around to the right. 3.5 out of 5 on the figure 8. The halt was correct. The down, a little bit slow, 2.5 out of 3. The reset was forged, 1.5 out of 2. When you're coming in to get your dog, you're standing at his hindquarters instead of standing in the middle, so when he actually sits up, he's forged about a foot, so you can clean that up just by where you're positioning your feet. On the heeling, overall the heeling is very nice. Dog loses a little attention a couple of times, but overall he was in good position and consistent, 18 out of 20. First right turn going out was a slight lag, 1.5 out of 2. On the fast pace, the dog was slightly forged and there was a tight leash, 1.5 out of 2. The slow, again, same thing, 1.5 out of 2. The normal was correct. Gunfire was correct. The about turn was slightly forged, 1.5 out of 2. The left turn was correct. 32 out of 35 in the on-leash portion. In the off-leash heeling, again, the dog loses just a little bit. One thing which is throughout, just try and walk normally. You're still sort of walking with your, with your hands like this. Just try and walk a little more normally. 18 out of 20 in the heeling. First stay in motion was very nice, 3 out of 3. Second stay in motion, you kind of, when we have a decoy on the field serving as a distraction, if you get offline and get far away from the decoy, then I have to take a little bit of points there. You want to, one of the hardest things is you get used in training to looking at your dog and not looking where you're going, and you kind of veered offline away from the decoy when you were going out. So I took a point from the stay in motion because it happened a lot further from the decoy than if you were online. The return to heel was very nice and clean, 4 out of 4. The about turn was slightly wide, 1.5 out of 2. Third stay in motion also was nice and fast, 3 out of 3. The hula hoop business over there kind of got him a little bit. He broke on the distraction. It had to be 0 out of 3. What I was telling him on the field was, because he's new in this level, I gave him a little assistance. If you just take your dog back to the start point at that point, you lose all your points for the recall and the finish, which is 10 points. And by putting him back, he was able to salvage some of his points on the recall and most of his points on the finish. And now, because the dog broke and he had to reposition the dog, I took 3 points off of the recall itself because we had to do it again. The finish was slightly crooked. You lost a 0.5 point on that. So that was 38 out of 48 on the off-leash portion. On the long down, again, because you're standing so far back, the dog sits and he's a little bit forged on the reset. That was a 0.5 point. But overall today, even with a couple of those little mistakes, 84.5 and a nice performance. Good job.